According to a Texas Tech football press release, QB1 Behren Morton has undergone shoulder surgery and will miss the Liberty Bowl. In his place, true freshman quarterback Will Hammond will start for the Red Raiders against the Razorbacks up in Memphis. In today's video, we'll discuss the prognosis for Behren Morton and his potential timetable to get back on the gridiron, as well as what Red Raider Nation can expect from the true freshman gunslinger against the Hogs. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast. And if you want to be a part of the largest group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube, just simply like the video and hit that subscribe button. Sincere thank you to each and every one of you that have subscribed and really just paid attention to all the content we've had with the transfer portal and everything in between for the Red Raiders. Almost 100,000 viewers basically in the past 2 weeks. It has been absolutely nuts. So a sincere thank you to each and every one of you that has tuned in. All right. No, I was giving thanks there. But Behren Morton, he will miss the Liberty Bowl after going under the knife to have shoulder surgery. And this is something that I think a lot of people wanted to talk about, in the sense that Behren Morton didn't look completely healthy. He probably looked like, 90, 85% in terms of that rocket arm that we learned to love, in terms of his true freshman season at Texas Tech, where he got to play a little bit. And I should say redshirt freshman, excuse me. But it felt like this was going to happen. Now, I've talked enough. Let's look at the actual press release from Texas Tech football. From Lubbock, Texas, Texas Tech junior quarterback Behren Morton will miss the upcoming AutoZone Liberty Bowl after undergoing shoulder surgery Tuesday in Los Angeles. He is projected to resume throwing activities this spring in anticipation of returning to full workouts this summer. It was done by one of the leading orthopedic surgeons specializing in shoulder surgeries. You can see right there, was recommended by Texas Tech medical director and orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Kevin Crawford, and his sports medical staff, is also the head team physician for the Los Angeles Dodgers and Los Angeles Rams, and has significant experience with professional athletes across the NFL and Major League Baseball. So first and foremost, this just sucks for Behren Morton, right? Because I thought a lot of people, including myself, were probably, too hard on him at times this past season. He had a pretty damn good year, all things considered, right? It sucks that he won't get to play in this game, that he obviously fought really hard to be there. But this is one of those things that you remember last offseason, how this was the talk for Behren Morton. And it almost felt like they delayed the inevitable here, almost in a way. But it's good to hear that this is going to be a relatively quick turnaround. Obviously, there might be a delay by a week or two, but it sounds like he could be ready for spring football for Texas Tech, at worst 100% healthy after a full summer and ready to go for fall ball, which is going to be huge for Texas Tech, because Behren Morton is probably going to be QB1 going into next season for Texas Tech. Now, in terms of the Will Hammond side of things here, I think this is going to be interesting, right? You think about this from the perspective of Will Hammond in his career. This is his first start, right? His first start is going to be against an old Southwest Conference opponent for the Red Raiders in a bowl game against an SEC school in Memphis, okay, against the Hogs, right? You've got a lot on your plate there if you're a true freshman, but we saw what Will Hammond could potentially be against TCU. And again, granted, yes, he had that fumble at the end of the game. It is what it is. But overall, he looked pretty damn good in that football game for the Red Raiders. Now he's going to have a chance to go out there and compete and be the starting quarterback. You're going to have guys like Caleb Payday Douglas, Coy Aiken. You're going to have Jalen Conyers, who said that he will be playing in this game regardless. Okay, so then you think about it. Okay, what can you expect from him? Well, I think you're going to see quite a bit of RPOs. And before we get into a little bit more of the play side of it, remember, Zach Kittley's gone. It feels like Zach Kittley has been gone from Texas Tech for a year now, with how much news the Red Raiders have had over really the past 10 days, 11 days. It's been absolutely wild. But remember, it's going to be juice calling the game here. The wide receiver coach, Juice Johnson, he will be the play caller for Will Hammond in this football game. I expect to see a lot of RPOs. I expect to see a lot of quick game passing to try and get Will Hammond in a rhythm early, and then you open up the offense a little bit after he's gotten comfortable. You're going to use the run game. Will Taj Brooks be playing in this game? I think that's TBD, but either way, you feel good about the Jacoby Williams of the world and others in that running back room. You feel good about Will Hammond. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. Because of that game you saw against TCU outside of the last offensive play for the Red Raiders, you feel pretty damn good, all things considered, even though this is a true freshman quarterback making his first start. So for me, I think you're going to see a lot of explosive plays in this game. I think you're going to see high intelligent, high IQ football. Will Hammond is beyond his years when it comes to being smart at the quarterback position. I think you're going to see one of the wide receivers that has a chance to break out next year for the Red Raiders quite a bit in this football game, and one that has a connection with Will Hammond from their time practicing together, and that is Kelby Valsin. And he's a guy, if you look at some of those hype videos that Texas Tech has put out, look for number 6 with the sleeves, okay? He's catching a lot of balls on those highlights, okay? I think he gets 5+ targets in this game. I think Will Hammond uses him. Don't be surprised if Josh Kelly decides to sit out in this game. There's no word on that from at least what I have seen. If somebody wants to correct me in the comments, please by all means do so. But I would not be surprised if Valsin plays a little bit in the slot. And then I think you're going to see some deep shots to Caleb Payday Douglas, as well as the tight ends being used, whether that's Mason Tharp, Jalen Conyers, or John Carlos Miller III. I don't think this changes the offense really too much at all, outside of the fact that Zach Kittley isn't the one calling plays. It'll be Juice Johnson, and there's really not a lot of knowledge on what he's going to do. I expect it to be very similar to what Zach Kittley did. But again, you never know until you actually see it. But the big news for Texas Tech football coming into today was, well, they've been killing it in the portal, but now, unfortunately, on the negative side of things, QB1 Behren Morton will undergo surgery, or has undergone surgery, to his shoulder that has been bothering him for really a year and a half now. And he will be out until at the earliest spring ball. Instead, it will be the true freshman quarterback, Will Hammond, making his first collegiate start in the Liberty Bowl out in Memphis against an old Southwest Conference opponent in the Arkansas Razorbacks. All right, that's going to do it for today's video. One more time, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell. I actually went back and looked at how many videos I had posted in the last, however many days it's been since Texas Tech beat the ever-loving you-know-what out of West Virginia on Senior Day. It's been 23 videos. This is the 24th video we have put out here on the channel. There's no other Texas Tech YouTube channel keeping you up to date like the Back to 12 podcast channel is. So if you want to join the largest group of Texas Tech fans and really have free platform, there's no charge here, right? All I ask you to do is 3 things if you want to be a part of the Back to 12 squad. Like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell.